What's up, SNA fans? Super Ninja Austin back here with another video, hours after his wrestling news video. And man, what a show like on the returning AEW Collision, which we haven't seen new episodes since March. Was it March 16th? I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. This episode of AEW Collision was very impactfully great. And then I'll say what to not do is to make a wrestling news video for it. Man, like how good it is to be a YouTube journalist, and talking about how great the wrestling shows are, whether they're from WWE and AEW. You're gonna see exactly what I mean when I say it was really a great show. I would say not a full five perfect show, but still was a great show that be close to there, like to the point that you would love to watch watch an episode of AEW Rampage, this episode of AEW Rampage any day, like even if it's on a different day besides I don't know, like different day besides Saturday, like I don't know, like Sunday, maybe Friday, or even Monday, like it still would be a great, entertaining show to watch. But let's start off with Adam Copeland coming out the ring. This is where he was on the microphone before he see who this opponent is for his upcoming Cope Open TNT Championship Challenge, which that was up next with fans. Where fans were chanting Adam, 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 like if they would want him to just only use the Adam name and into his out of his real name is the Rated R Superstar, which I'm not sure if Adam Copeland would want that, but anyways, it is where Adam Copeland was like, yeah, like from a year and a half ago, I finally closed that book of Christian Cage, and here's where fans are cheering like, yeah, you sure did. And this was like, and now it's time to set up a new chapter. Like I think it's time as we go back to one thing. Like where I was, go back where I started, and that is the Cope Open Challenge. Only this time it's gonna be like this, and he's like, but this time I'm putting my TNT title on the line on this Cope Open Challenge. Since I'm here, like in a fighting mood, in my fighting gear, like who's gonna step up and who's gonna accept my Cope Open Challenge? And this is where he dropped the microphone. He's like, come on, like come. It could be anybody. And this is where we heard some very unusual music, which he came out of there, and you won't believe it. It's none other than the indie god himself, Matt Cardona. Like, and I was like, what? Like, is he all elite now? Or it's just a one-off, like just to put him in to have something like have a surprise buzz. Have a surprising buzz to add on to tonight's show and their returning show. Like have some excitement, surprise, entertainment, and interest. Like, and they did a pretty good job with all that. Like in tonight's AEW Dynamite, and even some goofy wrestling, which we're going to get to that in just a moment. But anyway, yeah, Matt Cardona was heading to the ring. This is where even the commentators couldn't believe that Matt Cardona was here. And I was like, wow, like I would expected him to just wait one more week later until he makes an on-screen appearance on another company, like perhaps a certain big showcase event that we've been talking about on the wrestling news. But I'm not sure if that will happen. If it's going to be a more often thing, or this could be like some kind of a part-time gig, like with him making occasional appearances, just have him under some kind of a part-time deal, like with them making a couple appearances, something like for the RVD. Like I wouldn't doubt if they did, but. Other than that, I mean, it could be a one-off, and we could still see him in WWE. But it would be very crazy to see him a week after, like from wrestling Adam Copeland in a TNT Championship match. But yeah, they did indeed have a TNT Championship, and then I was thinking to myself, like, and he used to like when he was Kurt Hawkins at the time, while he was Zack Ryder. But yeah, this is where Adam Copeland got him in a headlock and started things off. But this is where Matt Cardona Irish whip him right to the right side. This is where he waited for him to get to his corner, but he gets shoulder tackled by the Rated R Superstar. This is where then he ran right to the bottom corner side. This is where Matt Cardona hip tossed him. This is where he tried to grab him, but he gets kicked right to the face. This is where he gets hip tossed by Adam. This is where Adam tried to grab on his legs, but he gets missile drop kick by the Long Island native, or the indie god, I guess you could say. This was like, too slow, man. Like you shouldn't have kept your eyes off of me. Like, I'm gonna be here at any given moment. And this is where they start spinning around. This is where like one of them was thinking like who. Like, this is not one of them. This is where both of them were thinking what move to do to each other. This is where they just went for the generic grapple, but this is where Matt Cardona got him in a headlock, tried to give him a taste of his own medicine. But this is where Adam Copeland, the Irish whip, on the right side. But this is where he gets shoulder tackled because he waited too long on what move to hit him. He couldn't make up his mind. But this is where Matt Cardona went right into the top corner ropes. Is where this is where Adam Copeland ducked right under him and duck sliding. And this is where Matt Cardona went to the top corner. This is where he tried to. And this is where Adam Copeland tried to go for a leapfrog, but this is where he moved out of the way. This is where they start grappling and trying to hit each other with holds, but they were flipping out of each other's grasp. And this is where they try to go for a drop kick in midair right onto each other. But they did it, happily did it at the exact same time. And this is where Adam Copeland, this is where Matt Cardona is like, yeah, you got me like this close. This is where Matt Cardona's like, how about you get me on the next round? This is where Adam Copeland's like, I like to see you try to do that. And this is where Matt Cardona smiling and grins like, oh, I will. And then this is where fans were chanting like, woo, 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 like Matt, like, and then the other half was chanting for Adam, like, Adam, which I was thinking to myself, like, did they ever had a match? Like, I don't think they'd have, like, in their time in WWE. But they finally do this time in AEW, though, like, with their real names. This is where Matt Cardona kicks Adam right into the midsection and then hit a right axe handle right into the back of Copeland. And this is where he starts stomping on him, continuing to try to mess up that back and try to get the upper advantage until he starts squeezing his foot right into the left side of the head of the Rated R Superstar. But this is where the referee started counting until he got the 4, until Matt Cardona had to get off of him. Had no choice. But this is where Matt Cardona then Irish whip Adam Copeland right to the lower right side. But this is where Adam Copeland's like, low blow it, like, buddy. And this is where Matt Cardona did not like that. He was very ticked off. This is where he started running out of the ring. This is where he tried to charge at him, but he gets instantly clotheslined by the Rated R Superstar. And I apologize to keep repeatedly saying that like that. But anyway, it's just I thought I might add something interesting, or add something try to add some like a good laugh into this video, like make this more of a feel good, entertaining video. But anyways, where Adam Copeland and throw him right halfway into the ring, into the apron. This is where he tried to go for the impaler because he knows the side of the ring is the hardest part. Like, so he tried to go for the form of execution, but this is where he gets raked in the eyes, or gouged in the eyes by Matt Cardona, with him trying to gouge him out of his eye socket. And then this is where it distracted the Rated R Superstar, and this is where he turned around. He gets pushed right off the apron, landed face and ribs and gut first right into some of the steel steps. Even though like he didn't land too hard, but still that was extremely painful of taking a bump. Like, and if you're not careful, you could permanently injure something in on your body. So hopefully Adam Copeland was okay despite taking that bump. But yeah, this is where Matt Cardona got Copeland back up, and it seemed like he was okay because Adam Copeland was still moving without having any issues, like holding on to a body part that looked like it seemed like he's unable to continue to compete in this match, which I guess you could say that's a good sign. But this is where we got Matt Cardona then and throw Adam Copeland in the ring. This is where he started going for a neck lock right onto Adam's neck. And this is where he tried to turn to a headlock, tried to choke him out so he could be the new TNT champion. But it was not. But that Cardona couldn't last him for long. This is where we got Adam Copeland to flip out of it. This is where he tried to go for a clothesline, but this is where Matt Cardona ducks. This is where Matt Cardona tried to go for a clothesline to Adam when he ran right through the bottom corner ropes. This is where he ran go up the top. Matt Cardona was right onto the bottom rope. And this is where he hit a double crossbody crashing into each other. Both men falling down right into the canvas. This is where we got Adam Copeland to go for a clothesline, but Matt Cardona was thinking the exact same thing by clotheslining him as well. And this is where both men were also thinking about booting each other, which they did so that as well. Both men were keep falling down to the ground. Fans like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then I was thinking the same thing, like, yeah, like, wow, indeed. Like, and this is where the fans start clapping for both men. This is where we got Matt Cardona then try to get. And this is where the fans start chanting, "This is awesome," when both men were trying to roll back up to their feet. And I was agreeing, like, yeah, I was like, if the 6-man tag match in the main event's not as good as this match in the opener, I'm giving this the number 1 match. I would say it was, but I was debating on what's going to get number 1 and what's going to get number 2. I guess this definitely going to get number 1. Like, finally, I made my decision, and the second match belongs to the main event. I was thinking because it was just as entertaining, but maybe it didn't have that magic. It didn't have that, like, the prestige level as Adam Copeland's match with Matt Cardona. Like, with them fighting, like if they were fighting for the world championship rather than a mid-card champion that represents the Warner Brothers cable channels, which is TNT, which that's what AEW Rampage and Collision comes on at. And this is where Matt Cardona finally got himself back up, but he to a corner side of the turnbuckle. This is where he kicks Adam right into the face. This is where he got up right in the midsection. Mid ropes, not midsection. But this is where Adam Copeland tripped him right over, slid him back down and crashed back of the head first right onto the canvas. Adam Copeland was trying to get back up. This is where he goes up right in the top rope, but this is where Matt Cardona intercepts, try to go for a suplex. This is where Adam Copeland starts hitting right hooks right into the gut. And this is where he hits a suplex face buster right onto Matt Cardona off the top rope while he was at it. This is where Adam Copeland then hit a flying running bulldog right onto to the indie god. This is where he tried to go for the pin, but this is where Cardona kicks out at 2.99999999999, double 2.9 0.1 away from being 3. And yeah, this match was terrifically tremendous. You could have easily put this on a pay-per-view, even if they did do it like in this way, it still would have worked. Like, not only is the two of the best wrestlers in all of professional wrestling, but also they had a banger, phenomenal match on tonight's AEW Rampage. To describe it basically, like, that's the best way to do so. Like, it was absolutely phenomenal. Like, these guys worked their butts off, like, in this match. But this is where Adam Copeland then try to get Indie God back up. This is where I believe he was trying to go for the Impaler, I believe, which Matt Cardona would counter out of, which I believe Adam Copeland was double cursed because this is the second attempt he tried to go for it, but he turned to be unsuccessful. And even though the second attempt get reversed, try to say the Atomatic. This is where they try to go for a pin, but this is where Matt Cardona kicks it. And this is where are you for real right now? And this is where he's trying to chase after the Long Island native, and this is where he started running away from Cardona because Cardona is a sneaky, cowardly heel that he's portraying, as you can see in independent wrestling companies and in companies like TNA and the NWA. But this is where we got Adam Copeland trying to get back in the ring. This is where Adam Copeland tried to get in the ring, but Cardona kicks the ropes up and made him hit his family jewels. And I was thinking to myself, like, I better hope, Adam Copeland, let's better hope that Adam Copeland was not in the rush of adding somebody in the family. Like, perhaps a younger sibling for Lyric and Ruby, because even if he wanted to, like, won't recover until the next 14 days. But yeah, hopefully it does, or maybe even sooner. But anyway, this is where we got Matt Cardona hits his version of the Impaler right onto the Adam, onto the Rated R Superstar. And if I said the execution the first time on the apron, I meant to say the Impaler. That's what it's called. Like, but either that 2.9999999 double 2.90.1 away from being 3. This is where we got and then this is where everybody thought it was it, including the commentators. They're like, wow, like don't tell me we're gonna have a new TNT championship. Like, unfortunately, and that's fortunate on Copeland's side, but we're gonna get to that in just a moment. Most of us already know that what was gonna be the outcome. Because it seemed like Adam Copeland's not going to have a short one, even though this is a bit longer than his first one. But yeah, we all know that Copeland's going to hold on to that title for at least a couple of months. But anyway, this is where we got Matt Cardona and puts the Rated R Superstar right into the bottom left side, or not the bottom turnbuckle in the upper right. This is where he starts he did a slap cheap shot right onto the Rated R Superstar. This is where he's like, you think you're gonna beat me? Like, you think you're gonna get an easy win retaining? And then this is where we got Matt Cardona doing his woo 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 chants, like if he was still in WWE, like woo woo woo. And this is where he's like, and you loser. And then this is where he tried to go for it, but Adam Copeland got back up before he had a chance to attempt to move. This is where he nearly speared him, but this is where Matt Cardona dodges his spear right, like with a 0.11111 second of hitting him with the maneuver before with the maneuver, but unfortunately he came up short and he bounced his head right into the turnbuckle. This is where we got Matt Cardona to try to go for the broski right onto what's his name, Adam Copeland, but Adam Copeland caught him. This is where he buckle bombed him right to the upper right corner side. This is where we got Adam Copeland to try to go for a power bomb right onto the Long Island native. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but he still was short at 2.7. And this is where Copeland was like, "Are you for real right now? Like, even though that's not my signature nor my that's not my finisher nor my signature, but that should have been it right there itself." But this is where Adam Copeland's like, "Oh, that don't matter as long as the fans are still on my side," which most of them were. This is where they were cheering on, like, because they still was in Canada. I'm not sure what city they were in, but they were still they're still doing a Canadian tour, like for tonight's AEW Collision, like for this week, until they get back to the States next Wednesday. But anyway, this is where you try to go for the spear, but Matt Cardona hits him with the broski, which you know the rules. Like, if it doesn't work the first time, then it's a guaranteed the second attempt. Which that was the case for Matt Cardona. But this is where he tried to go for a pin, but he gets the 1-2 at the last second. Adam Copeland got the right shoulder up before Cardona can even get that 3 count. This is where Matt Cardona's like, "Wow, did he kicked out of it? That should have put him more." Like, I did that to every single body in the Indies and in WWE, and that never gets kicked out ever. It is where we got Matt Cardona trying to go stealing a page out of Adam Copeland's playbook in his finishing play. He tried to go for a spear, but this is where Adam Copeland intercepted his spear to his, and it is where he got the 1-2-3, and your winner and still the AEW TNT champion, the Rated R Superstar Adam Copeland, which I want to give a huge congratulations of having that successfully awesome match with the Indie God, like with him defending his his TNT championship. And something just tells me he's going to hold that title for the next couple of months. But this is where, before Adam Copeland even have a chance to celebrate it, though, like this is where the lights went off, and this is where and then the lights went back on. Like, and guess who was in the ring with him face to face? None other than the leader of House of Black, Malachi Black. And this is where we went face to face. This is where Adam Copeland like, "What the hell you want? Like, what are you doing out here?" And then this is where And this is where black mist was drooping out of his mouth, and this is where Adam Cole was like, okay, like what the hell's wrong with you? And this is where he did not know like what was planned from one of his henchmen, Buddy Matthews, came in from behind and attacked him. This is where and then this is where we got Mark Briscoe try to come in for the save to help the Rated R Superstar, but he gets booted in the face by Malachi Black, and he gets pop-up knee strike by Buddy Matthews. And then this is where they start continuing to do their beating until Eddie Kingston came in. This is where it's like, come here, boys. Like, you think you're all that? Like, why? Like, and this is where he overly did his wrestling math. Like, and he added a number, like, because 2 + 1 = 3, and it was only 2-on-2. But even though they had a disadvantage, so I guess this is the odd up the evens, like of the House of Black, disadvantage evens, I guess you could say. I guess he won over, but he was doing his wrestling math. Like you never know who's gonna come out. Like it could be like it's like you never know. Like Brody King can come out there at any moment, so I better be there early before he does. This is where Eddie Kingston was like, yeah, like. They're saying like, yeah, you think you're all that, like Malachi? Like, try to do it when it's just a 3. Like, why don't you pick on someone that's double your size? This is where they cowardly left the ring by turn off the lights, like if they're the AEW Undertaker, and then they just disappear. This is where Eddie, and thanking Eddie like for coming out there for the aid of Mark Briscoe and Adam Copeland. And this is where it starts. This is where they're standing up tall, I guess, celebrating, like with them playing Adam Copeland's theme song he had ever since he's been in WWE, which I believe he owns some kind of trademark to that because he was allowed to use it. So this version, he said, "You think you know him rather than you think you know me." But anyway, this is where we got Lexi Noor interviewing what's their names, FTR. It's like you like, and they were saying like, she was like, y'all in this tag team tournament match against the Infantry, which y'all considerably the favorites under this match, and what's y'all strategy heading into tonight's first round in the tournament? And then this is where Casper was like, I'm not sure if we can consider ourselves the favorites to win. Like we've been doing, however, we've been doing our best, like in the last month. Like, and it's where there's like, they're like, and I'm not sure if we're the top deserving wrestlers that get this spot, like because we got choked out by Claudio and Mox, and this is where like, but tonight, like let's hope we can bounce back from that. And then yeah, we got those, and we do have the fans that supporting us, and then and everybody's rooting for us to win this tournament. Like, and that's, I guess, that all it matters. And this is where Dax Harwood was like, yeah, this is like they need to start comparing this tournament like the March Madness college basketball tournament. Like this is like their fairy tale Cinderella story. Like we need to. And then this is where Dax Hall was like, and we also need to be the first ever 3-time tag team champion before those dastardly young bucks like does. And then we need to finish our Cinderella story have a Cinderella happy ending story, I guess you could say. And then he's like a Cinderella story, and that's what me and my brother Cash are going to be trying to do. Like when we're starting off with the Infantry, and this is where they said the catchphrase like "top guys out." And this is where we got Tony Schiavone then was in with an in-ring interview with Daddy Ass himself, Billy Gunn. Like when I'm asking questions about him getting broke in by his 2 sons and their new stepdad, Jay White. And then this is where we got Billy Gunn was like, yeah, like I think they better call somebody. Like if I remember, like Jay, like last time I checked, like Jay lost that match where he was talking about like this past week. Like which he He did lost. But anyways, and he referenced saying his best friend's catchphrase, the New Age Outlaws, Road Dogs. I mean, not Road Dog. I mean, catchphrase. Like, what's the match? I mean, like Road Dog Brian James or Jesse James catchphrase. But he's like, and he said, like, exactly like that match, like, he's that like he's gonna lose this match this coming Wednesday. This coming Wednesday on Dynamite. Like, and it's gonna be Jay White against Billy Gunn. Like, and fans are cheering, like, yeah, like, sounds very interesting to see. How great Jay White is, and then Billy Gunn's still great, even at his age in the 60s, still wrestling like if he's still in his 30s or 40s. But anyway, this is where Billy Gunn was like, yeah. And then we're gonna see how really good you are to Jay White, like to put that on the test, like who's the better wrestler in this trios in our respective trio. I mean, out of who the better guy is, like in this trios feud, I guess you could say. And then this where fans were chanting "Daddy ass," like repeatedly, perhaps way too much. But anyways. This is where Max Caster was making sure everybody was listening to him. So he started shouting "yo" like twice into a fan, or even twice. Well, no, it was fourth time until he did say "listen," like if he was freestyling, which he's been lacking for the past couple weeks, as you noticed. And this was like, and I want to talk about those ass boys, and you think you're gonna be of the ass boys, it's the sitting in the back because me and my brother Anthony Bowens is gonna be sitting in the back, so we can make this a fair fight this Wednesday. But we will be keeping our eyes and make sure that he's like, but we're not gonna get involved unless you try to get involved and try to interfere. We won't interfere on your phrase that until unless y'all interfere, and then that means we have a right to get involved and even the odds because that makes sense. Like to do the wrestling math correctly, And if you have a little, and then this is where Max Caster like, even if you have a little bit of a point inch of a faith with Jay White, I don't have no problem with that. But I know Anthony's, and I also know what Anthony's fine with it, because the world doesn't tweak Jay. It doesn't twink Jay White. So if you beat Billy Gunn in a fight, if you beat Jay White, I mean, if you beat Billy Gunn fair and square, then we admit that you are the best wrestler in this business. And this is where we got Anthony Bowens on the mic. This is where we got Anthony Bowens now Daddy has Billy Gunn being what's that called? What's that invaded by Jay White and his sons, the Guns. And this is where he said, yeah, I should feel good, even though I shouldn't, because my daddy Billy say that Jay White was a complete coward, and then he lived up to the expectations because that was free. This nerd and his what he said is elfly bullet bitchs. Yeah, that's what he called him. They snuck in walk into his home if they own the place, and about seeing Billy Gunn and he ran and when they saw Billy Gunn in the first sight when he came back home, they ran like cowards, the cowardly punks that they are. We got Anthony Bowens and this is the same guy that got slapped the pubes right off his face, and he's in his childish looking ass, I should say, couldn't stand a chance, he said. And this is where Anthony Bowens then continue on the microphone saying, and next week, demise of Bullet Club Gold, begin, you know what, London, about because they're looking at three different individuals. They are looking at three people that. Every single one like you will throw those scissors high up in the air as high as they can, and then they get ready to do it. And this is where Anthony Bones and then begin at the end of this Bullet Club, you're gonna be looking at still your AEW Trios Championship, like, because everyone loved the Acclaim. Like, when he said that, and then he put the microphone in the air for the fans to chant the Acclaim, like Seth Rollins does when he's like, I am Seth freaking Rollins. And who thinks going to win this match? Next week's AEW Dynamite on April 3rd, I believe. Yeah. Let me know in the comments down below. Which we all know that is going to be the leader of the Book Club Gold and the Switchblade Man himself. But let's move on to the next slide. Here's where we got FTR in the match next, like against Infantry. Like, which, yeah, it was very entertaining. I'll give it the 4th place spot. Like, on how, no, not 4th. Should I give it the 4th or the 5th place spot? It was a massive banger, even for a tag team match. Both matches, this and the Ricky Starks versus Top Flight, other than being unexpected and unexpected, that's about it. Like, but other than that, it still was tremendously good. But anyways, this is where we got the Infantry coming out of the ring, which was what's their names? Sean Dean and Harley Bravo, I believe that's his name is. Harley Bravo and Sean Dean. Okay, that's right. Okay. We just started off with, who was it? Dax Harwood and was it Sean Dean? Or no, Cash Will. Or Sean Dean, yeah, it was Sean. It was Sean Dean starting off with Cash Wheeler, which he put him in a headlock. This is where Cash Wheeler tried to put his head onto Sean Dean's head, but this is where we got Sean Dean kip up and flip out of it until he first whip him right to the bottom left side. This is where we got him getting wrist tossed, or more likely arm drag, I guess you could say, and then he got wrist locked by Sean Dean, and then this is where I said Harley Bravo, with it's a C, Carly Bravo. Yeah, he hit an axe in the right one. This is where he got tagged in by Sean Dean, and this is where Carly Bravo then hit a double axe in the right on the Cash Wheeler. But this is where Cash Wheeler got back in control when he tried to go for a wrist lock. But this is where he tagged in Uncle Dax Harwood, which it was Dax Harwood in the headlock. This is where Dax Irish moving from the him to the right to the left. This is where then he gets shoulder tackled by Carly Bravo. This is where he ran right to the bottom corner side. This is where we got Dax Harwood try to do an Irish whip move, but he was kind of too late because he was still trying to think about what move to hit him. But he gets shoulder tackled by him. This is where he went right to the right. This is where Dax Harwood ducks. This is where we got what's his name? Dax Harwood tried to go for a hip toss right onto Carly Bravo, but Carly Bravo drop kicks him like about 3 straight times. This is where he drop kicks Uncle Cash Wheeler. This is where we got Sean Dean came in and drop kick him too. And this is where Carly Bravo hit the drop kick right on the Dax Harwood. And then this is where they're like, oh yeah, like so far so good. Like, you're looking at the future AEW tag team. And this is where a lot of FTR, but you got to admit, they were impressive. Like, they showed that why they're in this tournament and why they should be the next AEW tag team champ. But unfortunately, it seemed like it was not going to be the case here. And something just tells me, like, if FTR can make it to the finals, then something just tells me we may not see the Young Bucks will win. But that's just the theory of mine. But something just tells me the Young Bucks still going to win. But just saying, and again, theoretically. But anyway, this is where we got Cash Wheeler throwing, I believe, what's his name? Carly Bravo right into the left and right, starts spearing him right into the midsection, back and forth. This is where he started hitting European uppercuts right on. Cash Wheeler repeatedly hitting European uppercuts. This is where he started hitting knife edge chops. Something that Gunther probably heard, like in the shiniest day, like in the playground, I guess you could say. But he probably can go there even if he wanted to go to Canada, because I believe he has some visa issues that'll prevent him from going there. But even if he was legal to go to Canada at this time, still wouldn't go because he have Sami Zayn to worry about in 7 or 8 days from now. So he wasn't worried about. So he's gonna just add him to the envy list, in the top 30. But anyway, this is where we got Carly Bravo start hitting knife edge chops right onto the chest of Cash Wheeler. This is where he started hitting lefts and rights and left until the referee was like, all right, that's enough. 1, 2. And this is where he stepped back. This is where he just went for a body slam right onto Cash Wheeler. And this is where he starts saying ooh, ah, and this is where he hits a big elbow drop right onto Uncle Cash Wheeler to try to go for a pin, but he only got a 2.1. This is where then Carly Bravo then tags in Shawn Dean. This is where Shawn Dean tried to Irish whip him right to the left, but this is where he gets counter power slammed by Cash Wheeler, looking like this is where if he was Braun Breaker, of course, he hit him with that. The Shawn Dean was in rings. I must have got them mixed up. Dax Harwood then started hitting knife edge chops right on the Carly Bravo. That's where he started repeatedly doing it and started stuff. And then this is where Dax Harwood to go for a suplex right onto what's his name? This is where he tried to go for it. He went for a suplex, and this is where he hit him with a suplex. This is where Carly Bravo did not know what day it was because his face was going back, spinning around. He was like cuckoo, not time. This is where both men were trying to get back up. This is where Dax Harwood got Carly Bravo on the Tree of Woe right to the bottom left side, hanging sideways. This is where he tags in Cash Wheeler. This is where he Irish whipped Cash Wheeler right onto Carly Bravo, hit a middle drop kick. This is where he's not continuing to do his beating onto him until he tags in his brother Dax Harwood, I believe with it. And then this is where we got Dax Harwood and what's his name? Dax Harwood and Carly Bravo in playing wrestling tennis until Dax Harwood got the upper hand and do a flip on him and got him pinned right onto his back, right on to over Carly Bravo's belly. This is where we got Bravo to go for a backslide in reversal, but this is where he gets nearly got backslide slammed by this is where he got backslide slammed by Uncle Dax, but this is where nearly got him by a 3, but Cash Wheeler got the right on top before the referee can slam his hand on the mat. This is where Carly Bravo was very frustrated. This is where he's like man, how do you kick out so faster than that count? And this is where, and then this is where fans are saying this is awesome. And then some of y'all are saying how come this is not the second best match of the night? I would say first of all, the 6-man tag match was just as greater than this match. And second, we had Thunder Rosa in singles, entertaining singles action with Lady Frost. So that's why it's gonna be those two right over this match. And then this tag team match was great and all, but it's just that the other matches that was main eventing main eventing and the singles mid-card match seemed like something that would be that looked main event worthy, and it was more fourth place slot. Even though it still looked like it's the second best match of the night, if not first. And I know this is a very intriguingly great contest, but that's the reason why I'm giving it the fourth place spot, because of the other two matches, which were just as main event worthy matches next to Adam Copeland versus Matt Cardona. But this is where we got This is where we got Carly. What's the name? Carly. Carly Bravo then got him in the got Dax Harwood and what's that what's that not sleeper what's that what's that not it's another small package, but this is where like he kicks out of it. This is where he tried to go for their version of the Shatter Machine, but this is where Cass Will was there right on time to push away what's his name Sean Dean, and this is where we got. And that's where he tried to pick him up and do a flapjack position. Carly Bravo, like even though he did not know that his tag partner Sean Dean was not up, this is where Dax Harwood saw this and started hitting elbow strikes right to the head of Carly Bravo. This is where he picks. This is where he picks up. This is where he picks him up, powerbomb him. This is where Cash will. Flips it right over, back up, into a German suplex, and then this is where we got Dax Harwood hits what's that? A somersault flip roll up right onto him, like if he just hit a power bomb, look like Chris Jericho style. But he only got the 2.99999999999 away from you. This is where Tony Giovanni's like, I thought that was over right there when they hit that move, and then, but this is where FTR is like, no matter, we got plenty more moves left in the tank. This is where we got Dax and Cash like and trying to go for a double suplex right onto Carly Bravo, but this is where his tag partner Sean Dean then came out of nowhere, speared Cash right off of him. This is where that gave Carly Bravo the advantage of putting what's that called? Doing a small package on the Dax Harwood, but he kicks out of it, and they were like, "How did he kick out? Like it was all planned out." And it was like, "Okay, none of that matters now. Like we got him right where we want him." This is where they hit a double super kick on FTR. This is where we got Sean Dean going for a step up into Gary right on the Dax Harwood, and then. And this is where Carly Bravo hit a swinging neck breaker. This is where he tried to go for a pin, and he would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for that. If it wasn't for that meddling Wheeler that went for a save. This is where he went for a save. This is where he tried to clothesline. What's his name? Tried to clothesline. What's his name? Sean Dean, but Sean Dean ducks from his clothesline, hits a rolling DDT onto Cash Wheeler. This is where he tried to. This is where he tried to clothesline Dax Harwood out of the ring, but Dax Harwood flips him right out of the side. This is where he hits a face first. This is where he hits, what's his name? Carly Bravo, face first right onto the turnbuckle. This is where, but this is where Carly Bravo put his foot there, but he hits him face first right onto the turnbuckle. This is where then he tried to go for, this is where he did a little spear shoulder bump right onto Dax Harwood right in the midsection. This is where he tried to go for a sunset flip powerbomb into a roll up, but this is where Cash Wheeler made sure he didn't successfully hit the move because this is where he started grabbing onto his hands while he's still hanging onto the rope. The referee's like, "Hey, you can't do that for long. Like, I'm giving you a 5-second warning." This is where he started counting. Like, I'm starting at 1, 2, 3, and this is where Sean Dean was there to detach their hands from each other, and then by slamming it right into the ropes, this is where he pushed off Cash Wheeler. This gave his tag partner Carly Bravo the advantage of pinning him with the roll-up win, but he only got a 2.8 count. This is where Irish whipped him right from the left to the right-hand side rope, but he accidentally threw him right into his tag partner, what's his name, Sean Dean, which he shoulder tackled out of the ring. That's where he landed right on the Cash Wheeler. But this is where we got Carly Bravo then try to go for like a sliding roll up, like by rolling his legs like right up and into like a wheelbarrow position. But this is where we got Dax Harwood kicks out at 2.7. This is where he pushed him right into his brother Cash. Like this is where they Cash tried to hang on to Carly Bravo. He should have had a better grip than he had because this is where Dax Harwood tried to hit him with a clothesline. This is where he actually hits his own tag partner. This is where we got Carly Bravo then hits a schoolboy roll up, which is known as the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment. The surprise roll up. This is where we got. That's where Cash Wheeler tried to go for a right hand right onto Carly, but this is where Carly reversed out and hit Cash right into the face with a right hand of his own, hit a right hand on Dax. This is where he elbows Cash. This is where he hits a right hand to Dax. This is where he elbows Cash. This is where he hits a right knuckle right into the jaw of Dax. This is where we got him trying to clothesline Cash Wheeler, but Cash Wheeler hit him, try to go for a back suplex. This is where he drop kicks Cash Wheeler right into the midsection, which he hanged on to Dax hard. This is where they had a plan, which he flipped over Cash Wheeler right behind him. This is where they wait for Carly Bravo to get back up so they could hit their finisher, which they did when he got back up, and they flapjacked and codebreaker him with the Shatter Machine, which they got the 1, 2, 3, and they will emerge to the next round in the semifinals, which that could be either Ricky Starks and Big Bill or Top Flight later on the night. And yeah, this match was very fantastically great, and yeah, some of y'all would disagree this was the second best, but I thought of it in the perspective of matches when it comes to the singles classics. I guess I prefer more singles or matches that are more in the main event spot, but that's not entirely the reason. But at the same time, it was still an entertaining match, and it was the main match of the show next to Copeland against Cardona. But let me know in the comments what you thought on this match, and do you think the right team won, or do you think the infantry was a better fit to win? Let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, it's where they had a little celebration in the ring. I want to give them also congratulations, like their best friend, the Rated R Superstar. This is where they pick up the infantry. This is where they shook hands, show some respect, and give the standing ovation to these guys. Even though at defeat, they still look great. Like they look like they were the ones. They even impressed me. I was like, my prediction goes to the infantry. Like it could be very interesting to see them win, even though they probably won't win the AEW Tag Team Championship, whether if they're in the semifinals or fighting in the semifinals or even the finals, of trying to become the new AEW Tag Team Champions. But at the same time, but Tony Khan could pay attention to these guys and notice how talentedly great they are, and he could just put them more on AEW television. Just keep our fingers crossed, at least on AEW Collision, because these guys look too entertaining and popular to be on an Honor Club exclusive show, which is Ring of Honor TV. I'm trying to dog on Ring of Honor. They can still make appearances, but on that show, but they should make more appearances on AEW a bit more often. This is where we got another backstage interview by Lexi Noor, which was with her there was her boyfriend and his tag partner Ricky Starks. This is where she started off with the microphone asking them questions on their match against Top Flight. This is where they're like, we're not gonna discredit you boys. You are incredibly talented, but I have to break it to you. You're not getting past us. It's face facts. You're in the lowest seed. We're in the top seed. Y'all 16. We're number 1. And that's like that for we're going to the dance. In fact, Ricky Starks and I, we're going to the dance our way to become the 2-time All Elite, and I mean 2-time All Elite Wrestling World Tag Team Champion. And I'm gonna be taking this girl that has this microphone for me to speak on, which she's a sweetheart. I'm gonna take her to the dance, wherever that may be, with my boy Ricky Starks and his date. And then this is where Ricky Starks then went on and had got on the microphone and say what he needed to say. Top Flight, we're going to go on and we're going to beat FTR. And then we're going to stay. History doesn't repeat itself. But when it comes to absolute Ricky Starks and Big Bill, we're guaranteed that it will happen again for us. Again, we're all going to be when it comes to. We'll get to that in just a moment, but which we are right now. Which next up was it the tag team match for the Top Flight? Or no. before it was that, this is where we got a backstage a backstage segment with Eddie Kingston, Mark Briscoe, and Eddie Kingston, Copeland, and Mark Briscoe saying like, "You think you can sneak up on me behind like you?" And not expecting that my boy Mark and Mad King Eddie Kingston to have my back. Like, if you think you have the nuts that Zelina Vega thinks you do, like, then come out and like that. How about I defend my AEW TNT Championship at AEW Dynasty? And I'm not sure if that was appropriate me for saying Zelina said, like, because that could be a clear reference of something that starts with the letter S, like, which I'm not sure if I mentioned it right here. Like, hopefully I don't get restricted by YouTube me saying that, but it was supposed to be all just a joke, and hopefully just a clear reference and not being specific. But anyways, this is where he challenging him in a match at AEW Dynasty. This is where Mark Briscoe's like this will be a big night for you, like for the AEW Dynasty, like. And then me and my boy Eddie here are gonna be at Supercard next month in April, like for the prestigious Ring of Honor World Championship. Like we're gonna make some history there. And this is what Eddie Kingston nodded him like, yeah. And then he's like, yep, yes, sir. And this is where he's like, and I promise you this is gonna be a very fair dog fight that we're gonna have. And this is where Eddie Kingston's like, yeah, I appreciate that for the honesty and the honor. And this is where Mark Briscoe's like, you see, that's respect what me and Eddie has. Like, but what you did and your boy Buddy was totally not respectful. Like that's like you and do you understand what I'm saying? Like you gonna be living a nice life at AEW Dynasty. Like you gonna roll free. Like you have any problem, baby? And then this is where Eddie King's like, yeah, y'all guys like to spit mist and do some spooky stuff and some illusion stuff, hocus pocus stuff. Like, but let me tell y'all something. Well, I flip out my baseball cap, which he did. This was like, I'm gonna tell you this. And he's like, the only thing I'm gonna be seeing, like when we get to it, you House of Black Boys on April 21st, that you're gonna be the only thing y'all gonna be spitting out is blood and teeth. Like when we get through pounding y'all's face in. And this is what Eddie Kingston was like, and getting Mad King out, and that's where he did the hand gesture move, his hand gesture. And this is where Mark Briscoe was like, start biting, like looked like if he was about to, maul them to death by showing these demonstration of his biting, I guess you could say. But Adam Copeland was like, yeah, it's okay, like yeah, like we're gonna get him. And then this is where. Do you think? What are your thoughts on this latest match on AEW Dynasty where Adam Copeland set up the challenge to Malachi Black for his AEW TNT Championship? And who thinks gonna win that match? Let me know in the comments below. Even though, as much as I would love to see Malachi Black have a title run in All Elite Wrestling, I don't think now's the time to put it right on him just yet. And Adam Copeland just won the championship, and even though he's older, but he's still a full-time active competitor. So. Like you would expect somebody in full-time base, like that's wrestling in a full-time base, have a lengthier title reign than somebody that's a part-timer. And yeah, he may be 50, 51, or maybe 52. I'm not sure exactly what his age is. But yeah, he's still wrestling like if he's still like 2 decades younger than that, at least. But I hope he does get the win, get the title on him afterwards. But I think he's going to win this match in my prediction in this latest match that's been added. And I forgot to say, like, it was very in a pissed off mood, Adam Copeland, when he went on the camera saying that stuff about I think he can come up and sneak from behind, thinking that he has some backup of his own. But next up, we got Kyle O'Reilly in action with the Workhorseman's JD Drake. And let me tell you about JD Drake. Like he does not look like himself a few months ago. Like maybe he was not using too much of Just for Men lately. And I was like, he has gray hairs like that. Like, I did not know that from the Workhorseman. I would expect him to be too young to be growing grays. Like, wow, like this man, like. And must have been doing this for a very long time. Like he's getting very older, like at least in his 40s. But anyway, this is where we got JD Drake Vader splash right on the upper left side. This is where he tried to go for a Vader splash right onto right onto the middle of the ring while he's still standing in the middle ropes of the upper left side. But this is where we got what's his name, JD Drake, to try to go for a cannonball right on to Kyle O'Reilly, but he still missed again for the second straight time. This is where Kyle O'Reilly went right behind him, and until he came from turnaround. This is where he started hitting him with those technical striking kicks. I think that's what a move that he does best. And this is where he started going left, right kicks right onto him, and this is where he started going for those kicks and right hands, and this is where we got JD Drake try to go for a clothesline. He does. He knee strike him right to the face. This is where he started roundhouse kicking him right to the midsection repeatedly.